Welcome back to Over-Opinionated with Jasmine Lane. Has anybody else noticed just how much the media and journalists and the questions that they pose, how much they have really been turning on the Trudeau government lately?
Donald Trump has said that he doesn't like you very much in the past. What makes you the best person to lead the Canadian government's efforts here?
This question is just so hilarious to me. And then Chrystia Freeland's response back is 10 times funnier.
Donald Trump has said that he doesn't like you very much in the past. What makes you the best person to lead the Canadian government's efforts here?
I think that President Trump will obviously speak for himself, and I would never put words in his mouth.
Let's just, first and foremost, Donald Trump hasn't just said he doesn't like Trudeau and his cabinet. Here's actually just a little compilation of some of the things that he has said about our government.
Did you reject a one-on-one meeting with the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau?
Yeah, I did.
Why?
Because his tariffs are too high and he doesn't seem to want to move, and I've told him forget about it. And frankly, we're very unhappy with the negotiations and the negotiating style of Canada. We don't like their representative very much. I love Canada, by the way.
Prime Minister Trudeau talking about you last night.
Well, he's two-faced. But, you know, the truth is that I called him out, and I guess he's not very happy about it.
We're being taken advantage of on trade. You know, they put out a document. I don't know if you saw it. They didn't want me to see it, but we found it. Perhaps they were trying to show the power they have. It's close to $100 billion a year loss with Canada. We finished the meeting. Really, everybody was happy. I left it. It was very friendly. When I got onto the plane, I think that Justin probably didn't know that Air Force One has about 20 televisions. And I see the television, and he's giving a news conference about how he will not be pushed around by the United States. And I say, push him around. We just shook hands. It was very friendly.
He's two-faced.
The tyranny we have witnessed in Canada in recent weeks should shock and dismay people all over the world. In an advanced Western democracy, the peaceful movement of patriotic truckers, workers, and families protesting for their most basic rights and liberties has been violently put down. Their assets and life savings have been frozen. They have been slandered as Nazis, racists, and terrorists. These are the names they've been called. They've been arrested and charged with phony crimes. They've been falsely accused of loyalty to foreign powers. I watched them. I saw those maple leafs all over the flags and the love for their country. Plenty of Americans were there too, and they love our country. They're being hunted down like enemies of their own government and treated worse than drug dealers and murderers or rapists. A line has been crossed. You're either with the peaceful truckers or you are with the left-wing fascists, and that's what's been happening. We stand with the truckers, and we stand with the Canadian people in their noble quest to reclaim their freedom. Canada does not treat us right in terms of the farming and the crossing the borders. Canada has been very tough on this country when it comes to timber, lumber, and other things. Very bad deal with Canada. It's called NAFTA. Get along with Canada, but I will tell you, they have been very difficult to deal with. They're very spoiled. They're our allies, but they take advantage of us economically. And so I agree. I love Canada. And then Justin gets up. He said, we fought World War I, we fought World War II, all true, together, all true. We love Canada, but they're taking advantage of us. We're not negotiating with Canada right now. Their tariffs are too high. Their barriers are too strong. I think with Canada, frankly, the easiest thing we can do is to tariff their cars. I even love their national anthem. It's called, very appropriately, O Canada. Would you like me to sing it? At least Canada knows how I feel. Love the people of Canada. We don't like their representative very much. They've taken advantage. I love Canada, by the way. I have so many friends. I have everybody.
And despite those tensions, the egotistical, focused on further dividing, alienating, and suppressing conservative voices from the rest of the public, Justin Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland herself somehow thought that even though the polls were showing that Trump was definitely going to win, they thought it was a good idea to use his name in vain as an insult towards Canadians and Canadian parliamentarians who are fighting for very similar values that Donald Trump's party is. Remember the whole Maple MAGA trend that this woman started?
I've stood up to Trump, and I have stood up to Putin. Juvenile, playground insults from the wannabe MAGA maple syrup conservatives do not frighten me at all. But in my experience, President Trump respects strength, and he respects people and countries who are strong and clear in defending their countries, in defending their national interest.
Okay, great. So we're doomed then. Got it.
That's what I've always done, and that's what I will continue to do. And the proof that that approach works is, I would say, threefold. One, we did a really good trade deal with the previous Trump administration. We did a win-win deal that works for the U.S., that works for Canada. I think that we are going to find that some of the key measures in that deal, particularly being clear that wages are, that good jobs, good paying jobs need to be retained in any trade deal. That's kind of the heart of the innovation of the USMCA, and we did that together. Second proof point, hang on, super quick. Second proof point is we were successful with the steel and aluminum tariffs. Canada was unique in that regard, and we see how our steel and aluminum industries are benefiting from that. That was a deal that we did, that I did with Ambassador Lighthizer, who continues to be a really influential person with President Trump and his team. And then the final thing, which is a real change in the world and something I think positive for Canada, is what Canada has done with tariffs on Chinese EVs, on Chinese steel, and on Chinese aluminum. That was a big change in Canadian trade policy. It was a recognition that Chinese oversupply is a danger to our economy, to our manufacturers, to our workers.
Don't get me wrong. Yes, that is a danger, but also that's the danger. You think that's the danger to our economy and to our workers and to our country as a whole, is oversupply. That's the danger. Huh. Interesting how she's very willing to call that one out, but not call out any of their failed policies that have pushed many Canadians into poverty. But okay.
That is something, actually, that Ambassador Lighthizer and President Trump have been calling for and talking about for some time. Canada is very aligned with the United States in that respect, and that's a final area where I see a firm foundation for our work together.
I just can't with these people. I don't understand how they think so highly of themselves. The entire country is saying, please get out of our lives. Please leave. We don't want you. Please leave us alone. And yet they can speak about themselves in such a beautiful, beautiful nature. You know what, actually? I think one of the best ways we could summarize just exactly what Trump and his administration think about these strong leaders of Canada who fight for their country and protect their citizens. We got to play this little clip from Tulsi Gabbard, who is on Trump's team, and just what she had to say about Trudeau and Freeland and what their government reflects.
Basically, what they're telling us is you are an enemy of the state if you dare to oppose or even question the president, his administration, or his policies. Shut up, step back, fall in line, or we're coming after you. This isn't some theory. This is reality. And this is a reality we're seeing play out in Canada as we speak. You have the autocratic leader in Canada who's resorted to genuinely authoritarian and tyrannical means to suppress a peaceful mass protest against the power elite there. Everything that we see happening up north, everything from the execution of emergency powers to the freezing of bank accounts, the seizure of children from parents, the destruction of livelihoods and small businesses, all of these things could happen here. So the question I ask myself in confronting all this is, what are they so afraid of? Who are they afraid of? You know the answer. It's simple. They're afraid of us. They're afraid of a free people. They're afraid of a free society. I've got to believe that Thomas Jefferson was thinking about these cowardly, fearful leaders when he said they prefer the calm of despotism to the boisterous sea of liberty. They're afraid of the freedom that empowers each and every one of us to seek the truth, to speak freely, to question their decisions and their authority. They're afraid of losing power, knowing full well the intent of our founders when they wrote in the Declaration of Independence that governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, and that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it's the right of the people to alter or abolish it and institute a new government.
And yes, you know, Chrystia Freeland, she can go lie through her teeth and try to make it sound like everything's really good, but we know that's not true. I'm Jasmine Lane, and I pray that we are not completely doomed with Trump and Trudeau round 2 for the next couple of months. Officially under a year now, hopefully, till our next election. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Like the video and comment your thoughts down below. I will talk to you tomorrow.